you.
Good catch.
Okay. So now we're recording. Welcome everybody to land use meeting, January 8th. Happy New Year's to everyone. So on the agenda, roll call. Can someone help me with roll call?
You want to do it, Julie, or I can do it?
Go ahead, Lindy.
Larry Bender here,
Present.
and Molly Brown. I didn't see her yet. Lindy Owen here, Becky McFarland
Here.
Julie Tucker,
Here.
and Jacob Taylor.
Present.
Very good. And actually,
Okay.
item A is the introduction and explanation of procedures. I didn't quite know what that was. Procedures.
Yeah, we could skip over that. If anyone has any questions, just let us know. Either in a chat or raise your hand or something. Moving on, what's next?
Larry, I'm confused. Are you suggesting that we go to the procedures manual for LOCAC, and then input our comments then about?
No, this is, Lindy, this is the part of the agenda where he talks about using a Zoom. And if you want to raise your hand. You do the
Yeah.
Okay,
little
okay.
reactions, and that's, but
yeah,
it looks like everyone here is pretty savvy on that.
yeah.
I don't know. Does everyone know where reactions are? Because sometimes people come on and they don't know where to find that.
And they're waving their hand, and sometimes they get missed.
But at the bottom,
Yeah.
if you,
And
Take
Raise
your
your hand if you need
smiley face.
assistance finding that
yeah, because it disappears sometimes.
actual hand.
Yeah.
So chairperson announcements.
Okay. No announcements from me except Happy New Year's to everybody. Sorry the confusion on signing in here and stuff, but seems like everybody found their way here, so that's it. Announcements from any of the members, council members?
I guess I'll put out the announcement that Sunnyside School is up for sale from the school district for $5 million, which is nothing for what that could be for the community in the way of, and it's currently leased, so it actually pays for itself maybe. So something to consider. We'll be keeping an eye on it, I'm sure.
Thank
Be
you for
nice.
that.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get that for extending the park and
Yeah, it has a lot of advantages that we'll never get otherwise. So
right.
anyway, and Happy New Year.
And any other comments from members of the committee? Okay, moving along. Lindy, what's next on the agenda?
Committee member announcements we just did, I think. So he is public, or are there committee member announcements?
That was all.
Okay, and so next is public comment for items not on the agenda. 3-minute limit.
Okay, anybody have any comments, public comments? If so, raise your hand or signal, raise your hand or let us know. Lindy, is that you?
I forgot. Yeah, me. I've sort of been thinking about how we sort of have fallen away from working together more since COVID, and we haven't really gotten back to the energy that we used to have. And I just am encouraging any ideas for more interaction with each other, and maybe a meet and greet every 3 months or something to throw out other ideas around that are just open to the public also. But anyway, just trying to get a little more going from all of us. There's lots of issues that, we haven't had to go out and do much about, but maybe we should try to do a little more for our community. That was it.
Okay, thank you. Very wise information. I see Becky's got her hand up.
Yes. And adding on to what Lindy had said, I had asked Ron Munns about using the CSD meeting room. And I think that was just for general LOCAC, but maybe it's possible to use that as a meeting spot for us if we did that every 3 months.
Okay, that is a very good point. I've been trying to contact either Sea Pines or the Baywood Inn, and have had a difficult time following through with them to find out if we could use their meeting rooms again.
Right. And they charge you for that though, right?
Yeah, but they're both nominal charges. I think we were paying like $20 a month to use the Sea Pines
Oh, okay.
room. So, that's definitely within our budget.
Another
Go ahead.
location could be the CS or the community center. They have a new board and they're trying to get the community to use the center more and be more interactive. And in the past, they've let us have that room for free.
Yeah. The problem we had with that room, if you remember though, was too small.
Well,
but
there's more activities now out on the front. There's a lot of tables set up all the time. So,
if somebody here could maybe contact them for me.
I'll try to ask because I'm there tomorrow.
Okay, if you could ask and tell me who to talk to and see if we can use it again.
Yeah.
It would be a wonderful thing to have our meetings there and also be able to Zoom them at the same time, which we're trying to.
Right. Well, you could do that at the CSD.
And LOCAC has internet too. I mean, excuse me, community center has internet.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Becky, the problem we had with the CSD, and I'd love to be able to use their facility, is that somebody has to be there from the CSD, which is on them,
Yeah.
These other rooms we just went into, they were there and stuff.
Okay.
But again, I'm open to anything. I think it is a very valuable resource for us. I think we're going to be reevaluating our LOCAC as a whole too in the coming future.
Very good.
Yeah. And any other comments from people from the public comments for items not on the agenda? Nope. Then moving right along. What do we have? The first item on the agenda?
Yes, and that was we have to approve minutes from November 6th.
Oh, okay.
And then we go on to agenda items. Number 1 is a lot line adjustment request.
So, yeah.
Okay. So, Julie, I see your name flashing up here. Did you have something to say or?
I just murmured that those are the only things we have are the minutes to approve and then the one project.
Okay. Did everyone get a chance to look at the minutes? There was a link included on the agenda there. Hopefully everyone did. Would anyone like to make a motion on approving the minutes?
Motion to approve.
Jacob, okay. Made a motion to approve. A second on that?
I'll second it, though I haven't read them yet.
But I wrote them, so they're good, Linda.
I trust that they were written well.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Lindy. All in favor of accepting the minutes from our last land use meeting, signify by raising your hand on the screen or
Becky?
notifying us. And
How about a thumbs up?
Good.
thumbs up.
So that's
Yep.
unanimous.
Mhm.
Okay, it's unanimous. Thank you. Then moving along to the first item on the agenda, which is a lot line adjustment.
Do you want me to read it, Larry?
Sure.
Because it's on the record then, so everybody. It's a request for a lot line adjustment between 3 existing legal parcels to create 2 larger parcels. The request by Linda Parks for a lot line adjustment number is to adjust the lot lines between 3 parcels of 0.39 acres each, like a third of an acre each. The adjustments will result in 2 equally sized parcels of 0.585 acres each. The project will not result in the creation of any additional parcels. The proposed project is within the residential single-family land use category and is located at 242 Butte Drive in the community of Los Osos. It's in the Estero planning area. And Butte Drive is down past the golf course. It's that road that goes out to the open space.
Okay. Ian, I believe you're part of this.
Hey, Larry, and hello, everybody else. Thank you for the introduction, Linda. It's great to meet everybody. This is actually my first time coming to the Los Osos Community Advisory Council, so I'm very excited to introduce myself and share this project. So I do have a presentation prepared for you today. Larry, I don't know if I'm available. I think you need to let me share my screen. On the bottom, there should be a let others share screen button.
There, it should be, is that working?
So on the bottom, there should be I think it's a green button, and then there'll be a drop down right next to it that says let other participants share screen.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Julie, do you have that on yours?
I do not have capability to share.
Oh,
the
okay.
screen. Yeah, I'm not a co-host
Right.
or anything.
Yeah.
And alternatively, Larry, oh, I think you got it. There we go. All right, let me just pull it up.
There we go.
Good job, Larry.
Hey, nice work.
Hey.
Teamwork. Okay, let me just get all my stuff put together. Right. Okay. So good evening, everybody. My name is Ian McCarville. I'm a land use consultant at Kirk Consulting. And tonight I'll be sharing a brief presentation on the pending lot line adjustment located along Butte Street in Los Osos. The project number is C-sub 2023-0001. So here we have a vicinity map showing the location of the project site. I'm sure you are all very familiar with this area, so we don't need to linger on this slide for too long, but there it is. And here we have a brief project overview. So the project encompasses 3 existing residential single-family zone parcels totaling about 1.17 acres, located at 242, 248, and 254 Butte Drive in Los Osos. 2 sets of applicants are involved on this project, although we are using Linda Parks as the primary applicant. We do have Al and Linda Parks of the Parks Family Trust. They own parcels 8 and 9. And then we have Sean and Michelle Sanfilippo of the Sanfilippo Revocable Living Trust, and they own parcel 10. Currently, parcel 8 features a single-family residence, while parcel 9 and parcel 10 remain undeveloped. And the scope of the LOA will basically adjust the land between the 3 0.39 acre parcels to equally distribute the land into 2 equally sized parcels. And so here on the slide, we have some nice exhibits. We have a table showing the resulting parcel sizes, as well as a nice colorful exhibit showing what those parcels will look like once the lot line is adjusted. Shown on this slide is an aerial view of the 3 existing parcels. From left to right, we have parcel 8, parcel 9, and parcel 10. And here we have the actual lot line adjustment map showing the 2 resulting parcels. Proposed parcel 1 is shown on the left in blue. This will be owned by the Parks, and proposed parcel 2, shown in red, is going to be owned by the Sanfilippos. So the proposed lot line adjustment is entirely consistent with Title 23 of the Land Use Ordinance, and it's substantiated by the following findings. So first, the lot line adjustment reduces development potential and land use density, leading to decreased environmental impacts such as water use and traffic. From a zoning perspective, this is better than the existing situation. The resulting lot configuration also enables the proposed parcels to access Butte Drive, maintaining an access equal to the current configuration. And lastly, the proposed lot, go back one. And lastly, the proposed lot line adjustment will increase the conformity of the parcels by combining 3 smaller parcels into 2 larger parcels. This results in a better configuration than the existing one. And in conclusion, the proposed lot line adjustment aims to consolidate the 3 current lots into 2 new parcels, each measuring about 0.585 acres. And this adjustment will be equal to or better than the existing configuration, and no significant impacts are anticipated. And with that, I will be happy to answer any questions.
Okay. Any questions from members, council members? Lindy, I see a hand up.
Yeah, I guess I just had a question about whether doing this adjustment makes it easier to build a residence on the new half-size lot. If I'm just a general idea of whether this makes it a little bit different for future building on the full parcel, or if it's just the families want to divide it.
Yeah, I mean, the goal really is to, take that center parcel and then distribute it to each family, right? And so
Okay,
it's not really taking away or giving better development potential, but having a larger area does allow, space for better setbacks and front yards, backyards, all that stuff. So in a sense, then yes.
okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments from board members? Yeah, the only comment I have to make is we had a project, thing like this happen down by First Street, and they added a guest house on the one parcel off their house.
Good point.
Which is, question more water use or anything, especially in the prohibition zone.
Sure.
Ian, I know you're not going to say, yeah, they're going to do it or they're not going to, but it definitely gives them potential to do something like that. Just a comment.
And again, this, if you look at the scope of this project, it actually reduces density, right? Because right now they could build 2 more single family residences. There's one existing.
Right. Okay,
Yeah.
Ian, right now they can't build anything because they're in the prohibition zone. So until the water issue gets resolved, 2 of the parcels can't build anything. There is a project on the 3rd parcel. By splitting it like they could, that 3rd parcel could expand the house. Just saying. Not saying that these folks are going to do that. I'm just saying it does give that potential to happen.
But it has to have a coastal development permit to do that, Larry, and that's discretionary and that will come in the future.
Yeah, I know, but it just, I'm just relating this to another issue that we had not that long ago where they divided something and then somebody added a guest house to their property.
Are you talking
And
about?
I've got nothing wrong with that. I've got nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying that that's what happened last time.
Is that the Pasadena Drive?
Yeah, they were in Pasadena, but it happened on Highland and it also happened on Mitchell. And maybe Ian doesn't know that there's a lawsuit currently about the same sort of thing. I happen to know some of these people involved in this project, and they have said they aren't going to build a guest house. The one thing that on this is that it is in the appealable zone, and so it would have to go to coastal. The other ones were not in the appealable zone. And so the county, at least with one of them, then gave a ministerial permit, and it didn't even go to the planning commission. And so, so Ian knows that's why there's concerns about this, because we currently have 3 of those. There's been 4 that have happened, but 2 more happened after the lawsuit was filed. And so that is a concern. And that's why people are bringing it up.
It's a great point to bring up too. So thank you for clarifying your intention of that comment, Larry. Appreciate it.
Okay, yeah, that's all. Any other questions or comments from members of the board? I'm not seeing anything. I've opened this up to questions or comments from the public out there. Anyone from the public have any questions, comments about this project? I'm not seeing any. Anybody wanting to say anything? Oh, Julie, I see you've got your hand up there.
If you're going back to the council, can I speak as a council member?
Yes.
Okay,
Please
and I
do.
might make a motion here.
Okay,
I like this, that you're in effect retiring a lot. And that, you know, we wanted years ago in the CSD, we tried actually to have a lot retirement program. Cambria has a limping along lot retirement program because of water issues. So you're taking lots off the table, and that 3rd house can't be built. Now, I know there's concern over building a large home or adding, say, a guest house. A guest house, if it's managed properly, can only have someone in there for a short time, and you know, it's then you go to code enforcement and you turn them in and say, hey, this is a dwelling, and it can't be a dwelling. It's a room. It's a guest room. Is all it is. So, and if it's not happening that way in your neighborhoods, my compadres here on the council, then turn them in. But in this instance, what I like is the ability to have setbacks away from the bay. So these people can build their home. They won't be linear and up tight next to the water. It's going to be more towards the street and wider, so that they're not affecting anything along the watershed. So I like the idea. And I would ask that our committee, the land use committee, I'll make that motion that we recommend approval to the larger LOCAC at their meeting in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, whatever the date is. So that's my motion.
I'll second it.
And we have a second by Lindy Owens. Okay.
Good.
Okay, any other questions or comments anyone else have to make? We do have a motion on the table. I say let's vote on the motion. Let's try a thumbs up. All those in favor of the motion, putting it on, sending it on to the LOCAC committee,
Unanimous.
being supportive of this. Is that unanimous, or?
It looks unanimous. I saw Becky, I saw
Yeah.
Jacob, Lindy, me, you, and I wanted to ask one thing. If Ian, if you could get your PowerPoint to Larry, and Larry
Yeah.
can put it up on the website for LOCAC to look at ahead of time. And I don't know, Larry, if you want to explain that the larger LOCAC, I just looked at the date, it should be meeting on the 25th. And you'll have to come back and do this all over again for those folks.
Well,
And that-
Julia, I'm saying if we have a majority here,
Hmm.
maybe we should just put it on the consent agenda.
Right, but if as someone who knows a little bit about land use, I think you should show up, Ian, just because people may have questions.
Okay, we'll go with that. So Ian, you have the support of the land use committee here. for this project. On the fourth Thursday is our regular LOCAC meeting. Again, Zoom meeting at 7 o'clock. And we'd like to put that on the agenda there, showing that we have the support of the Land Use Committee. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, I might have Jacob attend in my absence. I'm actually going to be snowboarding in Tahoe that day.
Nice.
So,
Oh,
yeah, so I won't be here, but you know, seeing how we have majority, I think maybe what we'll do is Larry will send you the presentation. You can post it. Jacob can attend and be prepared to answer any questions. I don't know if we need to redo the presentation, if it's there for the whole team to view. And then if there are questions, Jacob can answer it. And if not, then we'll wrap it up in a nice bow and go home.
Yes,
Sounds
I'll be
good to me.
available.
Change the date on it.
thank
And
you,
is
Jacob.
the next meeting, is that Zoom as well, or is that in person?
Zoom.
Zoom,
Zoom.
okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And that's at 7 p.m. you said, Larry?
Yes.
Okay,
On the
No.
25th.
No,
And
it's at
we'll-
6, isn't it? The
What?
the full LOCAC? Is it at 7?
I think it's,
Yeah.
It's at 7 o'clock.
Okay, thank you, sorry.
You should talk to LOCAC about changing that. Nobody likes 7 anymore.
Okay.
I like it.
I like it.
Oh, you guys.
We work until, 6:59.
Okay. So Ian, thank you very much for your presentation.
great job.
Yeah.
And looking forward to seeing you. Then again, they'll send you the agenda and the links to it and everything
perfect.
for Jacob to make the presentation.
Sounds
Yeah.
great.
Sweet.
Okay.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
All right.
Have
Take
fun
care.
in Tahoe.
Yeah, I will. Thank you.
Don't break
I
a
know.
leg.
Yeah.
So back to the committee folks here. Just again, at the end of every meeting, I try to open it up to a public, our forum, so we can talk between us or anything. Anybody have any issues? I did see the new Community Advisory Council handbook, and nobody likes the old clip art things. I got accustomed to them.
I did too.
But I think maybe LOCAC and we should be looking at a newer direction. I think we might have veered off course a little bit.
What do you
Got-
mean? What do you mean by new direction?
Oh, following the
Um,
guidelines of the handbook.
Yeah, I think when the guidelines get broken, which they have a couple times, big time, I think,
Yes,
we have to have support from our whole council,
right.
of some kind at least, to acknowledge that it didn't follow procedure.
Uh-huh.
Don't make it political, just, that was can't let those things just keep happening, so.
So Jimmy Paulding is he's going to the advisory council in Oceano on Thursday night this week. I'm gonna go just because I want to listen to him, because he's kind of the mastermind behind the new handbook. He and Don Ote's leg. And I also have other interests in Oceano, but I wondered if we've heard anything. Is Bruce gonna present the new handbook to LOCAC? Have we heard anything?
Bruce who?
Julie, I have not
Let the
heard.
minutes reflect you said that, Lindy.
But he did.
Yeah.
I'm
We
sorry.
Say
go
which
Larry.
Bruce?
Was it not the general meeting last month where we talked about it?
Oh,
Am
if
I
we did,
misremembering that?
I wasn't at that meeting, so.
Okay.
Where we talked about,
Might have been
handbook?
general LOCAC meeting in December. I thought we got a very early presentation of the new handbook. Because one of the county people was there answering questions and there was a lot of, no, we're not telling you guys what to do.
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
I didn't attend, so I'll
Okay.
have to rewatch that. I'll just tell you, oh, there's Dave and Bev, but I'll just tell you that I watch a lot of these advisory councils, and there's a few things that I think are slip ups at LOCAC, but something that's happening at the Oceano one is they're having pumpkin carving contests and Christmas tree lighting ceremonies, and they are having like Christmas light decoration awards. That is not the role of an
A
advisory
CAC thing,
council.
yeah.
Absolutely
So
not.
there's some weird stuff out there that they're gonna all get reined in on, or they're gonna face potentially being unrecognized. In my world, that's dissolved or disbanded, but unrecognized by the county
Unfortunately,
board of
yeah.
supervisors is what happened to the previous Oceano Advisory Council.
Yeah, there were some things that I thought were totally glaringly missing. I forgot who said it, but it was anyway, she said that there's no wording in the book about if you have to live in the district or
Yeah.
in the district, yeah, or if
Yeah.
it's even broken in districts. In other words, somebody from another city could get on that council. And that's, excuse me, that is not the function of a community council.
And that was brought up at one of the general LOCAC meetings before, and people said,
Yeah.
no way.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
just think that's, I mean, so there are some problems with this handbook, and it probably deleted a lot of things that maybe it needs to put back. And I don't really have a whole lot of interest. I guess I could read it a paragraph before I fall asleep every night, but sure, I'm not sure that, but I think if anybody sees those comments, Julie's really good, and Larry, you've read it, but make notes and just, I think we need to keep improving it, because
I agree. It's not.
it's obviously got some problems, even not having read it, listening to it.
I think Los Osos is in front of the curve on this. I think
I
we've
think
worked out
so,
a lot of
too.
the bugs. I think the new handbook's probably behind us in some ways. But
Does it cover election things? And because we've had some odd things happen with our,
Mhm. Yes, we
all
have.
it really says is that they need to have elected members, where like this one in Oceano, they're all appointed by themselves. They pick each other, and there even a supervisor doesn't pick them. So they now will have to have elections,
yeah.
which having an election, as we know in Los Osos, is kind of a real pain in the butt, because you don't have a voter registration list. You're asking people to bring a utility bill to show that they live in the area, and then you're divided into 4 districts, and you got to vote in your district. It's a pain in the butt. And that what I had hoped, and I had sent some comments to the supervisors. I've stayed in touch the whole last year with Don and Jimmy, and just said, they need to have like a set number of what they're going to give you from a financial point, and that even if with AHAT, and this maybe if with Empower and numbers, but think of this, if they had a central website that we all could use, all the advisory councils, then you could go to that website and click on which community you want to look into, but then even have a common Zoom account, and having, try to save some money, and then also just making them all sort of not regulated. That's not the word I want. It's more
Regulated like
Uniform
the same
format,
and uniform.
regular format, something.
Yeah.
Uniform.
And if everybody got, say, $2,500 a year, so you're not scrambling and in some cases asking for donations, you don't have to spend it all. But if you don't have to, that way your website's covered, and your Zoom account's covered, and your post office box is covered, printing is covered for elections, all that stuff, instead of every year having to have your hand out and ask again and again and again, just have it in the budget. So
Yeah.
those are some thoughts that we put forward, and they didn't bite.
Well, of course, because it will cost money to have somebody coordinate and keep that thing together. I think that's the complaint always is we don't
Yeah,
have.
but having 11 separate advisory councils,
I agree.
it costs money too.
Right, but it would probably be less expensive for everybody. But at the same time, you do have to have that central person, maybe
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
to help each of them keep their websites going.
It's
that
the
leads to
problem where
first.
the cost falls into the edges of everything
Mhm.
instead of being able to be put on a line item. Everybody hates it when you put it on
But
the line
everyone
item
should
because
be
then you can point at it.
required to put their minutes up, and they should all be required to
Yep.
post their agendas 3 days in advance. And
Yep.
that's what I'm, in my research, I am not seeing that.
Yeah,
You
get it
cannot see
standardized.
what they did in, ever in this one in Oceano, this newer one. There are no minutes from ever. And then when they have, I went to one of their meetings actually last month,
Oh,
and
but you're brave.
they, I know, I know they might lynch me, but they had one agenda, one paper agenda. They had it in person, one piece of paper to share with the whole audience, and then the board members had been emailed the minutes, and she said, well, it's in your email box. Oh, I didn't get it. I didn't see it. They voted to pass them anyway because they're in their email. But there's no copy for the public and no way for me to see them on their website. Crazy. Just crazy.
That is
Julie,
not a
this,
council.
I think we do need a lot of open conversation on this and bringing up these points. I do want to get to Dave and Bev. They've
Yeah.
had their hand up
Oh,
for
yeah.
a while. They're being polite and they're probably being proper and raising their hands and waiting to be called on instead
And your hand is tired.
of talking like we are.
Yeah, it's Dave. I'm just thinking about money and other kinds of things too, but going back to the comments at the beginning of the meeting about being able to meet some other places in person, it's always seemed odd to me that the community center was so expensive, because LOCAC is kind of something that ought to be known to the community, ought to be popular with the community, and you shouldn't be having these meetings where Dave and Bev are the only public attendees. Um, and maybe if there's a new board at the community center, maybe they would have a new attitude. But maybe there's some way that the county could subsidize more in order to help things take place at the community center and make it actually be like a community center. Anyway, I see
Good
Lindy
point.
nodding her head, but I think that having some means of involving the community more in things that LOCAC works on would be great. That's all.
Okay,
And
Dave,
I-
we're having Lindy Owen take care of that. She's going to be there tomorrow, and she's going to find out
I'm
everything.
gonna make sure we have a
Everything.
place to meet.
Yeah.
No, I was
Perfect.
just gonna suggest, I really think that if we need more people to join LOCAC, and we could find a way to do dual Zoom live meetings. Out by the golf course was a terrible place. It was not conducive to a community meeting to drive to the far end of town. And so I think that's a even stronger point for the community center to take us in. So, but I'll find out.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mondays at least is possible.
And there's Eve Brentfest.
Yes, hello, Eve.
She's muted.
Muted.
Oh, sorry, Eve.
There we are.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hello. Our meeting's almost over.
I know, I just remembered it was today.
Okay, did you have any, Eve, did you have any comments or anything you'd like to say to us?
Oh, I have a million things I'd like to say to you, but I don't live in Los Osos anymore, so
Well, choose
What?
one. And just, you can still tell us something.
yeah, well, I have a lot to think about. I mean, I have a lot to say, but anyway, I'm still interested and I'm paying attention.
Where did you move to?
I live in Santa Barbara.
Oh, well, that's 2 hours away.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, well,
I mean, it's a very pretty place and I live in a continuing care retirement community. So it was, a
Oh.
good move.
great.
not Los Osos.
Well, we'll miss seeing you around.
Yeah,
And,
I've
but-
been gone almost a year now, so
Oh my
hard
gosh.
to believe, but I'll be back at the end of the month. Someone's going away and letting me stay at their house for a week or so, so that'll be nice. So I hope to see you all around.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Hey, I was wondering, people, I didn't raise my hand and sorry. And my video's not working, but when we were talking about the manual or the handbook, is that something that some of us would like to get together and go over together? Is that something that might be like who was it? Lindy talking about getting together once in a while and sharing notes on that?
I'd be willing to get together.
I'd be in there, but I need Julie to pointing out all that stuff. that
We need
Yeah.
Julie, actually, yeah.
Well, I can shoot you some of the things I've written to the supervisors about
if
it.
you could do that, then the rest of us can get together and talk about it.
Yeah, and look
I
it
just don't
over
go
and,
to Paso every day. I don't have time to
Yeah.
get together too often.
yeah.
That would be helpful.
Yeah,
Okay,
that would
I'll
be
share
great.
some
Okay,
stuff.
thank you. And yeah, so let's meet. When's a good time? I'm free most of the time except Wednesdays.
And I have a flexible schedule, so if there's a time you want to, I can work my work hours around that.
So I'm gonna let the two of you figure it out. Just let me know when, because I'm pretty flexible too. So.
Okay.
uh,
And do we want to meet at Dave's house?
Ah,
I think that sounds great.
Okay. Tell your wife
Thank
we're
you, guys.
coming. We'll help with the kitty.
Oh, gosh. Are you guys still there?
They're muted.
Yeah, they muted themselves.
Oh,
if we need a place, my backyard the weeds are growing, so you can all come over and
Oh,
watch.
And watch them, yeah. Or pull them. Lindy's good at pulling them.
I'll
That
pull
too,
weeds.
but
I'll pull weeds and listen, yeah.
okay.
Hey, I got to use a weed torch yesterday. That was fun.
Oh, my God. It's like a flamethrower.
Yeah, but it doesn't, the
Yeah,
grass
that's
is
cool.
green and the sand was wet. So it just fries them. It was Velt grass
Oh,
and the
good.
grass is short. So I wouldn't do it when we're having Santa Lucia offshore winds and 90-degree weather in the summer.
We appreciate it. Just a quick one. My grandmother had all this junk that we cleared out of a storage thing. And it was this woman it was a 1960s thing. It was this woman in this really cute little polka dot summer dress. And she's got this blowtorch on the end of a wand. And she's burning weeds. And
Yeah.
this great thing that you could get. And